You guys are not gonna believe how amazing my garden is doing. Welcome in, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. I am so excited about today's video. This is gonna be really fun, and we're talking about something I'm so passionate about, and that is, how do you find good healthy food? If you're new here, I'm so glad you stopped by today. I hope you'll consider subscribing before you leave, and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you want all the good stuff, and I mean it, all the good stuff, you might want to sign up for my Sunday morning email newsletter. The link is in the description box down below. Every Sunday morning, I send out a very short, very sweet, extremely popular email newsletter that contains all the cool things I found throughout the week, whether it's a good buy or a great product or a super sale, a great piece of information, anything that I would tell you if we were out together having lunch. The link is in the description box down below. It's super easy. You just fill it out. It comes straight to your Sunday morning email inbox. It's super free. It's super fun. I think you're gonna love it. And you know what? It is probably one of the most popular things about my channel. I get emails every week from people telling me how much they love it. So you might want to give it a try. You can unsubscribe at any time. There's no charge. Go ahead and join us. It's kind of a party on Sunday morning. You guys, I can't believe how great my garden is doing. Not only my vegetables, but my little backyard flower farm. I am simply stunned and amazed. And I might even say I have a green thumb, but that's not true. It just is a great place to grow things in the climate here in Central Florida. I'm going to show you what's happening in the garden today. It's so exciting. Things are looking so good. First off, do you remember the little starts I had that I grew from cuttings from the tomatoes I had over the summer? I picked the best tomatoes, the ones I liked the flavor. I took cuttings and I planted them after they had grown some roots in a glass full of water. You guys, look at my tomato plants. I'm telling you what, I think this guy back here grew a foot overnight. They are doing so amazing, and I don't think I'll ever buy a tomato plant again. I'm just going to keep taking cuttings off my favorite plants. These guys are so healthy and so vigorous. They have a ton of blooms on them. I'm really excited about my cherry tomato harvest this winter. Now this guy over here, here's an interesting story. This plant did not do good. It got attacked by some type of bug, and it had a lot of damage towards the bottom, but there was new growth that looked very vigorous, very green, and very healthy. One of you out there said you don't have to put the tomato cuttings in water and grow roots. You can just go ahead and stick it in some soil, and after a couple of days of wilting, it will go ahead and root and grow from there. And that's what I did with this guy about 3 days ago. Now, I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but he did look wilty for like the first day or two. Today, he's standing up all proud. So we're gonna keep an eye on this. And boy, by golly, if this works, what a great tip. And thank you so much for whoever left that tip. Really a good one. Over here is one of my green stalks, and I have planted it pretty thoroughly every other row and just put in seeds on the opposite rows yesterday. These are all beans. Look at how good they're doing. I just planted more bean seeds on the second row yesterday, and you might be wondering, Kimberly, how can one person eat all those beans? Well, the answer is I can't, but this is what you do. You plant more than you need, and then you share them with your friends and neighbors. And that's what I'm planning on doing. Could you imagine if everybody grew something in their backyard and we all just traded amongst each other? Then we would have beautiful, organic, non-GMO, non-chemical food to eat. Almost no cost. You know, once you get the seeds in the soil, you're all set. Down here, I have pepper plants, and you can see some of them are coming up, some of them are not. So I'm keeping an eye on them. Right over here, I went ahead and bought a jalapeno plant when I was at a local nursery. I love jalapenos in my food. You can see I'm already getting fruit on this guy right here. And then down below is my lettuce row, but you know what? It's not really doing much of anything. I do have a little start right over here, but I'm going to add some more seeds probably sometime this week. Now right here, I'm getting a little will start, but I don't know what it is. That's on a road that I didn't plant. And then down below is my parsley. I love parsley in cooking, and it's so good for you. So I planted a few different kinds of parsley, and it's starting to come up. As for my larger vegetable pots, back here, you guys are going to crack up. This is Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. It's almost impossible to find organic Brussels sprouts. I thought I'd go ahead and grow some of my own. We'll see how that goes this season. And then right here, you guys know this is Celeste. She's my new friend. She's a little fig tree. And I went ahead and picked her up because I couldn't resist her at a nursery. I need a fig tree like I need a hole in my head. I just fell in love with her, brought her home, and you can see she already has little figs on her. So she and I are best friends right about now. Over here, this is something I am so excited about, you guys. This was a lot of work, but it was so worth it. This is my green stock filled with strawberry plants. And look at how good they're doing. Here's what happened when I was planting the green stock planter with the strawberry plants. It was at the end of a very long day, and I was really tired, and it was kind of in the evening. The sun was going to go down quickly, and I had ordered the bare root strawberry starts off of Etsy. I ordered 2 different kinds. One was Albion and one was Seascape. The word on the street is that these are day neutral strawberry plants, which mean that you get a yield a few times a year, and it doesn't matter the length of the day. Generally, when you grow strawberries, you're only going to get a yield based on the length of the day. Day neutral means that it doesn't matter. So this is what I ordered. It's late in the evening. I had been working out in the backyard. I was sweaty. I was hot. I had all the soil and everything I needed to fill the green stock and start putting in the bare root strawberry plants. And I opened up the containers with the plants. You know, with bare root, they're live plants, so you have to kind of get on it. You can't let them sit around for a while. And I started reading the instructions, and it said 50 or 60% soil and then the rest sand. And I'll tell you, I was so tired. I was over it. I had no sand, but you know, I thought, the heck with it. I'm going to plant these things anyway because I don't want to stop. I don't want to go get sand the next day. I just wanted to get it done. So I went ahead and jumped in and filled up all the layers of the green stock and planted my bare root strawberry plants in there. And I thought, you know what? This might not even work. So because I didn't have the sand, I thought, oh my gosh, I might end up just killing every single one of these strawberry starts. But look, you guys, every one of them is doing fantastic. I haven't lost a single plant, with the exception of the one that little critter over there hauled out. She thought it was something to play with. So that's the only plant I lost. And look at right here, I'm already getting a little strawberry. They look so doggone healthy and vigorous. I am so very pleased with my strawberry garden, and imagine being able to walk out in the backyard and have fresh, organic, super clean, super nutrient dense strawberries right in this tiny little footprint. Now let's take a quick look at the flower farm, and you guys, every single pot has come up. I'm so shocked about that. You know, when you plant seeds, you maybe can figure like a 70 to 80% germination rate on a good day. Every single pot I planted is doing well. I'm telling you, I'm starting to feel like I have a green thumb. So here's a dahlia plant right there, and what I've planted on the exterior rim inside the pot are trailing flowers so I can soften the look of these pots in the flower beds. This is a cosmos. Over here is another dahlia, and what I do is I plant 2 or 3 seeds, and then I thin them as they come up because, you know, germination rate, you never really know. I always give myself a chance to have a good start for the pot. Look at the dahlias in this pot. It's doing so well, and then I've got another dahlia over there. Same thing with all the pots in this planter bed over here. They're doing really well. Everything has started. Everything's growing. You can see that pot in the center right over here. This is sunflowers, and I planted several in the pot because they will self-regulate for size. So I'll end up getting smaller sunflowers that are perfect for bouquets. We have a dahlia over here. Here we have zinnias. I'm really so very excited about my gorgeous flower farm. Now it's time for another field trip. I want to take you guys along on an exciting journey today. Editing Kimberly here. In a few minutes, up next, I'm going to be talking about a website, and I'm going to call it CSA.org. It's not CSA.org. I don't know what I was thinking. It is a website of community supported agriculture, hence the CSA. The website is localharvest.org. Localharvest.org. And it's really important for you to know that because I'm about to say CSA.org 500 million times because I wanted you to remember it. But we're going to practice right now. Every time I say CSA.org, I want you to say, no, Kimberly, localharvest.org. So let's try it now. CSA.org. That's right, localharvest.org, localharvest.org. If you go to localharvest.org, you're going to be completely fascinated and absolutely hooked. So let's move forward, localharvest.org. This next section coming up, you're gonna really love it. I am currently in the parking lot of the Cracker Barrel in Ocala, Florida. And you might be wondering, Kimberly, what the heck are you doing there? You don't eat at restaurants like the Cracker Barrel. And that's true. What I'm doing today is this is the beginning of my investigation into the local farmers in my area who sell really healthful, nutritionally dense food. In other words, those farmers who have grass-fed beef, free-range chicken and eggs, dairy that's not filled with chemicals and hormones, vegetables that have not been grown being sprayed with chemicals in soil that's not really healthy soil. Today I'm starting on that journey. And you might wonder, how did you even get started? Well, I went to one of the best websites out there available, and I really want to encourage you to look it up yourself. You can go to CSA.org. CSA.org. CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And if you go to that website, CSA.org, and all you have to do is type in your zip code, and what's going to happen is it's going to pull up all those farmers in your area, the farmers and the ranchers in your area that are offering very healthy, nutrient-dense food to the local communities. Why is this important? Well, I'll tell you what. If you knew what I know about the billions of dollars currently being invested into lab-grown meat and food made with bugs, you'd be running to your local farmer because the landscape, if we just let it go and don't do anything, is not good. I personally don't want to be eating lab-grown meat and food made with bugs. I don't think you do either. And one of the things that we can do to make sure that we have healthful food moving forward is by supporting our local farmers. These farmers work so hard. They are so committed to creating a healthy product, and they're really wonderful to work with. So what I have just done is I just picked up my order from a local raw dairy. This particular dairy delivers all over the Central Florida area, and today for my area they show up in the parking lot of the Cracker Barrel, pull up their little trailer filled with refrigerators filled with raw dairy products, and then we walk up and we say who we are, our last name, and then they have our order all ready to go. So today I just picked up 4 items. I had ordered 3, but I added one while I was in line because I saw it was available and I could just pay while I was there. And it's so funny because I had been wishing that I had added that to my order and they had it there today automatically. So the first thing I got is I got a container of yogurt. Now this is with raw dairy. Why am I wanting to have this? Because this dairy is not pasteurized. It has all the nutrients that raw dairy is supposed to have, or dairy is supposed to have, without all the hormones and the chemicals that they shoot into to the processed dairy products that we get in the grocery store. In addition, the animals that are creating this dairy are not fed GMO grains like GMO corn and other products that just really are not good for the animal and not good for us. So I got a container of yogurt. I also got a container of kefir, and the reason I wanted the kefir is because this is great gut food filled with all kinds of great goodies for your gut. So I got some kefir. In addition, I got some cream right here, and this is what I'm going to use in my morning coffee. Just like a little teaspoon of cream really does the trick. And then what I picked up in addition today is I got a tub of salted butter. So this is all done with raw dairy. There was quite the line of people with their little ice chests and that sort of thing waiting to pick up their orders. It really is becoming a very, very popular thing. And the funny thing is that the guy, really good looking, cute, healthy looking guy, he was up on the trailer passing all the food out, and he was talking with one of the regular customers. And the guy on the trailer says, yep, we're here because if it's not poison, they don't want you eating it. And there's more truth to that than you actually know. The next question you might be asking is, Kimberly, you don't eat dairy. Why did you just pick up all this raw dairy? That's a very good question, and I'm glad you asked it. The reason that I did is I'm going to be doing a little experiment, and I do want to talk with Connie about this. You know, Connie is the nutritionist that I've been working with. I am wondering, and this is the little experiment, there are so many people these days who don't do well with dairy. Dairy can be very, very inflammatory, and when I quit dairy, I immediately lost about 10 pounds effortlessly, and it was all inflammation. What I'm wondering, and this is just my own little experiment, is I am wondering what I was allergic to or being inflamed by were all the chemicals in the dairy that we get in the grocery store. What's going to happen with my body when I'm eating nutritionally dense, healthful dairy without all the chemicals, without all the additives? I'm wondering how it's going to work for my body. If it turns out that I still can't do dairy even though it's raw and very healthful, that's fine. I'll feed it to the animals. It's definitely not going to go to waste. But I'm really excited about this because now I know how to do it. It might seem a little bit intimidating in the beginning or a little bit scary, but I'll tell you what, it is so very worth it to find these farmers in your area because you're going to be able to score really, really healthy food. One of the things I looked up CSA when I was in Aiken as well, and also when I was in Reno before I moved to the East Coast. What I can tell you about the CSA website is, first of all, it is a wealth of information. You're going to find out so much about where you can find nutrient-dense, really healthful food in your area. However, what I have found is that it's not necessarily updated regularly. And the reason is that a farmer or a grower can go on there and put a listing up saying where they are, what they offer, how they work, that sort of thing. But a lot of times they don't go back and edit that if things have changed or if they're no longer selling to the public or something like that. It's kind of one of those things where you need to investigate each business that you're looking at. Call them, find out what they're doing, arrange pickup, that sort of thing. What I'm going to do, because it is very, very important to me that I support my local farmers, because that's the only way we're going to be able to keep this food available to us. Everything, almost everything in the grocery store, I would say about 95% is not really food. It's just chemically modified junk that leaves you fat and hungry. So getting nutritionally dense food in my diet is really, really important to me, and supporting these farmers is how I'm going to do it. But I'm just one person. So the way that I'm going to expand the impact of what I'm doing here is I'm going to create an ongoing document, and I'm going to call it the Good Food List. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start listing those farms and growers that are still doing it, sharing my experience, sharing what I bought, sharing how it goes so that the people in my area can get that list, and it's kind of a shortcut to finding good food. They don't have to go through every single site that's listed in the CSA under my zip code. The way that I'm going to distribute it into my area is by posting it on my local Facebook group. And I'm going to tell them, please share this with everyone you know. And the list is going to be constantly updated. So that way I can take just the experience of one person, me, and create a way for all the people in my community to find a really good resource for great food easily. They can just click on the link, see the latest updated version, and they can then email me and let me know any experiences they've had or information about a new resource that they found. So it's going to be a way for the people in my community to quickly be able to determine where I can get some good food that's not filled with chemicals, that's not sprayed, that's very, very healthful. So perhaps that's something that you can do in your area as well. The good food list could just go nationwide. We can start it, keep it going, and really support these farmers, because if we don't support them, they're going to go away. We're going to end up eating fake meat and bugs, and that's not the future I'm looking for, and I'm sure it isn't for you either. I have 3 stops lined up here in Ocala today. The first one was to pick up my raw dairy products. The next stop is I have found a local nursery who sells native plants, and I was on the phone with him. I asked him, I said, do you spray? And he goes, the only spray on my property is from the skunks. So that's my kind of guy. He has some plants that I want to look at, and he also has some vegetable starts. I might pick up a few of those today as well. The last stop is to pick up some free range chicken and eggs. I ordered 4 dozen eggs. I'm giving a dozen to my neighbor Carol. She was looking for really good eggs, and I think I found a hookup. In addition, I ordered some chicken, 2 whole chickens and some chicken pieces and parts. So that's going to be the last stop for the day. I can't wait for you guys to come along with me. I just pulled up to Kenny's nursery. This place is so beautiful. It's a small local nursery that sells native plants. He also has some starts here. It is so beautiful out here. It is so clean and well cared for. Let's go inside and take a look around.
Train just left this town while I'm slowly heading back to my apartment. I'm not asking for your thoughts, I'm just thinking out loud in the darkness. Ooh, there's no point.
I'll have to say, this is one of the cleanest, well cared for nurseries I've ever been to in my life. I ended up finding 3 plants. I'm going to get 2 pepper plants and a tomato plant. I was hoping to pick up some milkweed, but they're out for the season, so maybe I can find the milkweed somewhere else. I'm going to go ahead and pay for my plants, and then it's off to the next stop. Okay, I'm back in the car because it's raining outside. I don't want to film out there and get my camera all wet. You guys, this Kenny's nursery, what a great story. I would give you more pictures, but it's raining. This is the best cared for nursery I have ever been to. It is so clean and so organized here. So here's the story of Kenny's nursery. First of all, I want to tell you, I bought 3 plants. Look at that total, $6. It was $6. If you are a local in the Ocala area, you've got to come by this place. This is just so interesting. What they do here is this is a resource and learning center for handicapped individuals, particularly if you have like a mental handicap, like autism or something like that. They have a program here Monday through Thursday. I think it's 8 to 2, where you can come if you're handicapped, if you have the particular special needs, and they will teach you life skills. You work in the nursery. There's a kitchen in there. You cook your lunch, the whole thing. It is the nicest group of people and so very interesting. They do this whole volunteer thing with the special needs people. It's so fabulous. And the gentleman that was helping me, his name is Jeffrey. He's been here 15 years. Anyway, it was so interesting. You've got to stop by here. $6 for 3 plants. I'll tell you what, come spring, this is going to be the first stop I make. I wasn't able to pick up some milkweed today, but I'll tell you what, the gentleman that checked me out, I think his name was Matt, he was such a wealth of information about milkweed and how you want to address it to keep the butterflies healthy and that sort of thing. So if you live in this area, in the Ocala, Central Florida area, you got to stop by Kitty's Nursery. This place is just so very cool. Plus, right now it's all decorated for Halloween. So now we're off to the last stop of the day. I'm kind of excited about this one. Come along with me. This is so much fun. So this place does free-range chickens and free-range eggs. So I got 4 dozen eggs and I got 2 whole chickens, a package of chicken breasts, 2 packages of chicken breasts, and 2 packages of drumsticks. And it was so funny. It's at the end of their driveway and they tucked the ice chest behind the little stand where the mailboxes is. And so it was kind of like, you know, a little hookup. I took my chicken and my eggs. I left the money. I'm going to text him now and let him know that the deal is done. I love this. This is such a great way to support the local community, to get really good food, and just have a whole lot of fun along the way. Well, you can see my initial haul from my dive into the CSA farms in my local area in Central Florida. It was easy and it was fun. It was so interesting. So I want to encourage you to think about it. You can simply go to CSA.org and start taking a look at the farms in your area that are going to provide really nutritious, delicious, healthful foods that aren't filled with chemicals, pesticides, and a whole bunch of other stuff that we don't want. Our choice to live healthy right now is so very important. I hope you'll think about it. The way I'm going to start it in my community is I'm going to start the good food list. So all these businesses right back here are going to go on the list. I'm going to explain what they sell, how you do it, my experience, whether it was easy, whether it was fussy, whatever. These people have it dialed in. Most of them just do it via text. In other words, for let's say the chicken guy, I called him first, kind of found out what he has available, and then everything after that was all through text. Even when I picked up the chickens and left my money in the cooler behind the mailbox, I thought that was so funny. I just texted him, done, and he texted back, thank you. And that was it. So the way that I'm going to do it is start the good food list. And then I'm going to start finding out from my friends, from my neighbors in the area, who's interested in participating and getting some really good food. And then we can start deciding, this one person goes and gets the chicken for the month. For however many families or households want their chicken, we all pool our order together and that person goes and gets the chicken. Then another person goes and gets the dairy. And then another person maybe goes twice a month and gets the eggs. So if we kind of separate it out and everyone takes a little job, it becomes really easy and really fun to get great food in our households. And I think that's so important right now. So definitely think about checking out the CSA farms in your area, starting the good food list, and finding out who do you know that might want to join you in becoming a healthy eater. It's probably one of the best decisions we can make right now. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me for this adventure. First, my garden this morning, and then a look at how you manage purchasing from CSA farms. It was a fun day for me. I really enjoyed it. I'm hooked on doing this. I'm going to continue to investigate the CSA farms in my area and add to my list. And I hope that you do as well. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You guys know it just makes my day when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.